நம்மென்றெங்கு நான் நம்பி வந்தேன் தேவா உந்தன் திருவடி சரணம் என்றெங்கு நான் நம்பி வந்தேன் தேவா தேவா உந்தன் திருவடி சரணம் என்றெங்கு நான் நம்பி வந்தேன் தேவாதி தேவா உந்தன் திருவடி சரணம் என்றெங்கு நான் நம்பி வந்தேன். மறுபடியும் மறுபடியும் கருவடையும் குழியில் தள்ளி மறுபடியும் கருவடையும் குழியில் தள்ளி வருத்தப்படுத்த வேண்டாம் பொன்னம்பலவா. மறுபடியும் கருவடையும் குழியில் தள்ளி வருத்தப்படுத்த வேண்டாம் பொன்னம்பலவா. உந்தன் திருவடி சரணம் என்றெங்கு நான் நம்பி வந்தேன் தேவாதி தேவா உந்தன் திருவடி சரணம் என்றெங்கு நான் நம்பி வந்தேன். எடுத்த ஜனனம் கணக்கெழுத தொலையாது சம்போ நான் எடுத்த ஜனனம் கணக்கெழுத தொலையாது சம்போ நான் எடுத்த ஜனனம் கணக்கெழுத தொலையாது இறங்கி மகிழ்ந்தவரீர் வேண்டுமென்று கொடுத்த மானிட ஜன்மம் வீணாகி போகுதன் குறை தீர்ந்த பாடும் இல்லையே. நான் எடுத்த ஜனனம் கணக்கெழுத தொலையாது இறங்கி மகிழ்ந்து தேவரீர் வேண்டுமென்று கொடுத்த மானிட ஜன்மம் வீணாகி போகுதன் குறை தீர்ந்த பாடும் இல்லையே. தஞ்சம் அடுத்து வந்தவன் நான் அடுத்து வந்த என்னை தள்ளலாகாது அரகரா என்று சொன்னாலும் போதாதோ. அடுத்து வந்த என்னை தள்ளலாகாது அரகரா என்று சொன்னாலும் போதாதோ. அடுத்து வந்த என்னை தள்ளலாகாது அரஹரா 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 என்று சொன்னாலும் போதாதோ. தடுத்து வந்தருள சமயம் கோபால கிருஷ்ணன் சந்ததம் பணிந்து புகழ்ந்து போற்றும். தடுத்து வந்தருள சமயம் கோபால கிருஷ்ணன் சந்ததம் பணிந்து புகழ்ந்து போற்றும். உந்தன் திருவடி சரணம் என்றெங்கு நான் நம்பி வந்தேன் தேவாதி தேவா உந்தன் திருவடி சரணம் நின்றிங்கு நான் நம்பி வந்தேன். நிலா உயிரும் வைத்தார், உயிரோடு உணர்வு வைத்தார். கண்ணிலே காட்சி வைத்தார், கருத்தடு கரணம் வைத்தார். மண்ணிலே மாட்சி வைத்தார், மருளுவாக்கருளும் வைத்தார். விண்ணிலே விளக்கம் வைத்த வேங்கட விகிர்தனாரே. தாயுளே அன்பு வைத்தார், தந்தையுள் அறிவு வைத்தார். தீயுளே புனலை வைத்தார், தீம்பரை தேம்ப வைத்தார். வாயுளே வாய்மை வைத்தார், வாழ்த்துவார் கருளும் வைத்தார். வேயுளே முத்தம் வைத்த வேங்கட மூத்தனாரே. நாட்டிலே நரரை வைத்தார், நட்பிலே வாழ்வை வைத்தார். கேட்டிலே ஆக்கம் வைத்தார், கிழமையில் பழமை வைத்தார். பாட்டிலே பண்ணை வைத்தார், பாடுவார் கருளும் வைத்தார். பாட்டிலே பண்ணை வைத்தார், பாடுவார் கருளும் வைத்தார். வீட்டிலே பிம்பம் வைத்த வேங்கட விசிஷ்டனாரே. சேரனல் இனங்கள் வைத்தார், செய்யத்தம் சேவை வைத்தார். தேரமை ஞானம் வைத்தார், தேக்கவானந்தம் வைத்தார். வரமென் சொல்லில் வைத்தார், வாழ்த்துவார் கருளும் வைத்தார். வீரமெட்டூரில் வைத்த வேங்கட வீரனாரே. வீரமெட்டூரில் வைத்த வேங்கட வீரனாரே.
अन्तरायतिमिरोपशान्तये शान्तपावनमचिन्त्यवैभवम् तन्नरं वपुषि कुञ्जरं मुखे मन्महे किमपि तुन्दिलं महः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। यस्यान्तनादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो नानपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षिष्ठान्तेव सदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे। वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपार सच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं। करुणापूर्णसुधाब्धे कबलितघनविश्वरूप किरणावल्या अरुणाचलपरमात्मन् अरुणो भवचित्तकञ्जसुविकासाय त्वयि अरुणाचल सर्वं भूत्वा स्थित्वा प्रलीनमेतच्चित्रं हृद्यहमित्यात्मतया नृत्यसि भोः ते वदन्ति हृदयं नाम अहमिति कुत आयातीत्यन्विष्यान्तः प्रविष्टयात्यमलधियाम् अवगम्य स्वं रूपं शाम्यत्यरुणाचलत्वयि नदीवाब्धौ त्यक्त्वा विषयं बाह्यं रुद्धप्राणेन रुद्धमनसान्तस्त्वां ध्यायन् पश्यति योगी दीधितिम् अरुणाचलत्वयि महीयं ते त्वय्यर्पितमनसा त्वां पश्यन् सर्वं तवाकृतितया सततं भजते अनन्यप्रीत्या स जयत्यरुणाचलत्वयि सुखे मग्नः। शोणप्रभं सोमकलावतंसं पाणिस्फुरत्पञ्चशरेक्षुचापं प्राणप्रियं नौमि पिनाकपाणेः कोणत्रयस्थं कुलदैवतं नः। नमामि यामिनीनाथलेखालङ्कृतकुन्तलां भवानीं भवसन्तापनिर्वापणसुधानदीं चूडोक्तं सितचन्द्रचारुकलिकां चञ्जत्शिखाभास्वरो लीलादग्धविलोलकामशलभश्रेयो दशाग्रे स्फुरन् अन्तःस्फूर्जतपारमोहतिमिरप्राग्भारमुच्चाटयन् चेतः सद्मनियोगिनां विजयते ज्ञानप्रदीपो हरः। शारदा शारदां भोजवदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं क्रियात्। राकाचन्द्रसमानकान्तिवदनानाकादिराजस्तुतां मूकानामपि कुर्वती सुरधुनीनिकाशवाग्वैभवम्। श्रीकाञ्चीनगरी विहाररसिका शोकापहन्त्री सताम् एका पुण्यपरम्परा पशुपतेः आकारिणी राजते योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमं त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहं त्वामीशं शरणं व्रजामि वचसा त्वामेव याचे विभो वीक्षां मे दिशचाक्षुषीं सकरुणां दिव्यैश्चिरं प्रार्थितां शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीयमनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु। தருணாருணமணிகிரணாவலினிகர் தெருநாடிய திரு அடியார் தெருமர் தெளியப் பரவுதல் பொருளாக கருணாகரமுனி ரமணாரியனுவகையினார் சொல்லியது கதியாக அருணாச்சலமென அகமே அறிவொடும் ஆழ்வார் சிவனுலகாழ்வாரே அருணாச்சலவரற்கேற்ற அக்ஷரமணமாலை சாற்ற கருணாகர கணபதியே கரமருளிக் காப்பாயே அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலாம் அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலாம் கோபமில் குணத்தோய் குறியாய் எனக் கொள குறையன் செய்தேன் அருணாச்சலாம் கௌதமர் போற்றும் கருணை மாமலையே கடைக்கணித்தாழ்வாய் அருணாச்சலாம் சகலமும் விழுங்கும் கதிரொளி நமன ஜலஜமலர் தீடருணாச்சலாம் சாப்பாடுன்னை சாந்துணவாயான் சாந்தமாய் போவன் அருணாச்சலாம் சித்தம் குளிரகதிரஸ்தம் வைத்த முதவாயை திற அருண்மதி அருணாச்சலாம் சீரையழித்து நிர்வாணமா செய்தருள் சீரையளித்தருள் அருணாச்சலாம் சுககடல் பொங்க சொல்லுணர்வடங்க சும்மா பொருந்திடங்கருணாச்சலாம் சூது செய்தென்னை சோதியாதி நீ உன் ஜோதி உரு காட்டருணாச்சலாம் செப்படி வித்தை கற்றிப்படி மயக்கு விட்டுருப்படும் வித்தை காட்டருணாச்சலாம் சேராயனின்மை நீராயுருகி கண்ணீராற்றழிவேன் அருணாச்சலாம் சையன தள்ளிர் செய்வினை சுடுமலால் உய்வகையே துறை அருணாச்சலாம் சொல்லாது சொல்லி நீ சொல்லறனில் என்று சும்மா இருந்தாய் அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. சித்தம் குளிர கதிர் ஹஸ்தம் வைத்து அமுதவாயை திற அருண்மதி அருணாச்சலா. Yesterday we saw the 29th verse where Bhagavan said, Arunachala, please initiate me. Arunachala, the moon of grace, that my heart, stricken and harassed by the triad of afflictions, may rid of them, become cool. Graciously open with thy hands of nectarine grace my heart, which brimming with nectar within, but remains closed like a lily bud without. So, Bhagavan, yesterday we saw this verse, Chittam Kulira. Chittam means mind. Kulira means it becomes peaceful, cool. All our spiritual practice has only one aim, that is to make the mind peaceful. Hristale manasvastata kriya bhakti yoga bodhasya nishitam. In Upadesha Sara, Bhagavan says Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, everything has only one end, one aim. That is Hristale Manasvastada. The mind abides in its source, in the heart, peacefully abides, becomes still. That is Bhakti Yoga, that is Jnana Yoga, that is Karma Yoga. That is Raja Yoga, everything. But generally, when you use some method to make the mind quiet, the mind remains quiet as long as that force is there. The moment you withdraw the force, the mind again starts its sport. That is, we usually see that. Jala pakshivad rodha sadhanam. Bhagavan said, it is like putting a bird inside a cage. The moment you open the cage, the bird flies away. So any upaya, any method has this problem. The only method by which there will come to a fruition, a fulfillment of manojayam, is when eka tattva, eka chintanat nashametyadaha. Bhagavan says, when you see that oneself alone is there, it alone appears as the mind, it alone appears as the body, it alone appears as the world. Once this spell of Dvaita, spell of duality ceases to hypnotize you, put you in spell, then naturally the mind becomes quiet. Or rather, the quietude, the fullness of the inner being, the Atman becomes revealed. Once you know that, even if the mind is active, doesn't matter. Because once you know whether the wave is there, iceberg is there, bubble is there, everything is nothing but water. Salila eko drashta advaito bhavati. Upanishad says, the moment you see the inner stuff, once you recognize that everything is nothing but the self, Sajayati Arunachala. Bhagavan says, Sajayati Arunachala Tvai Sukhe Magnaha. He, ultimate spiritual victory is that devotee perceives everything as the form of the Lord. Atman, self. That one alone exists. That recognition brings in that natural quietude. The heart blossoms. So chittam kulira, the mind becomes cool only by that complete jnanam. Gadir hastam, there is two translation. One is katir hastam. Katir hastam is, katir means the ray. The ray which comes from the sun, the rays which come from the sun. Like that, the ray of Arunachala is his grace. He is constantly emanating vibes of grace, which can forcefully put your mind to quietude, shanti. Tanpol achalamat chayyum. This is Bhagavan's words. Arunachala makes you also achala. So that is where the mind naturally imbibes that higher presence and becomes quiet. So Arunachala forcefully enter inside me and bless me. Chittam kulira katir hastam vaittu or gatir hastam vaittu. That gati means jnanam, avagati. In Sanskrit, gati means jnanam, atmak jnanam. So put your hand on my head. Generally, in our tradition, we don't touch anybody. And especially sannyasis. Parasamsarga will not be there. No touching of another person. And for a sannyasi, there is one exception. That exception is when he gives sannyasa diksha to another brahmachari and gives him that upadesha of the Mahavakya. Tattvamasi, you are me, you are Brahman, you are the self. When that oneness comes, then the master, the guru, puts his head on that brahmachari and makes an alingana, an embrace, and then gives the upadesha in his ear. This is tradition. So here Bhagavan is invoking Arunachala's compassion for our sake. Arunachala, put your hand on my head, and that invisible hand, Arunachala's hand is grace only. Gadir hastam vaittu amudavayaitira. I gave the meaning yesterday. Amudavai is, one meaning is that heart, the nadi, that nerve center in the heart, which keeps closed. That orifice, that hole, it opens up. When you start probing within, when for the first time you are fascinated by the movement of eye, see, in Tamil grammar, this word I is used. You will wonder. It's an English word, of course. It's the first person in English. But you know what is the meaning of I in Tamil? In Tamil, I means Shiva. From that only, Ayya, Ayyan, வேதங்கள் ஐயா என ஓங்கி ஆழ்ந்து அகன்ற நுண்ணியனே. So in Tamil dictionary, I has a meaning. It really means Ishvara. முன் ஐ இட்டது என்னது? முன்னை இட்ட தீ முப்புறத்திலே, பின் ஐ இட்ட தீ தென்னிலங்கையில், அன்னை இட்ட தீ அடிவயத்திலே, யானுமிட்ட தீ மூழ்க மூழ்கவே. This is one of the songs of Pattanathu Swamigal. Mun I, ittati, munnai, not simply munnai, mun I ittati muppurattale. That primordial being, Ishvara, Shiva. So, especially in Bhagavan's path, you can be certain that Bhagavan has initiated you when these two eyes, EYE eyes, is not important to you, that inner eye becomes important. That inner eye of attention starts observing, probing into the feeling, the sense I. You can see in Bhagavan's death experience, where Bhagavan says, there was a strange fascination for the mind to follow the I thought to its source. Mark those words. There was a strange fascination for the mind to follow the I thought to its source. So that strange fascination is Arunachaleshwara's Akarshana, Irp. Once that fascination comes, the mind is no more fascinated to go out. It is fascinated by that dance of I in the heart. Sometimes many devotees, when they come to Bhagavan, in that presence, this miracle happens, this magic happens. Suddenly it opens up. Hitherto they have not paid attention to it, but from that day onwards, this starts working. For the first time, you see your own personal, individual sense becomes a mystery for you. With deep watchfulness, you pay attention to it, and that is Ishvara's Anugraha. The moment you start feeling that pulsation, Amudavayai Tira, that opening of that Amrita Nadi has become clear. Slowly that inner stream is opening up. Only when that opens up, this Hridaya Vidya, this Dahara Vidya will become meaningful to you. Otherwise, many people, they ask, what will you get simply by who am I, asking who am I? You will not get anything because it sounds meaningless. So that is why Bhagavan says, Arunachaleshwara, put your hand on my head and please open up this closed track so that everything becomes meaningful. This Vedanta Jnana becomes meaningful. And slowly this self-inquiry, this Atma Vichara starts operating in me. Amudavayai Tira Arul Mati Arunachala. And ultimately Amudavai is where the Guru tells the disciple, you are the truth. Actually, Bhagavan in Ulladin Arpada says, you need not even do who am I. The moment you go to a master, he tells you, you are that, you have to abide. That is bhakti. If you have so much trust in the Guru, no sadhana is necessary. The moment you go to the master, one word from him, Parthavidamellam Paraveliyai Tondra or Vartai Sollavanda Manuve Paraparame. Tayumanvar said, he went to his Guru and he says, my Guru told only one word. And that word did the magic. Wherever I looked, I saw only Brahman. The whole perception became effulgent. Wherever I looked, there is only light. பார்த்தவிடமெல்லாம் பரவெளியாய் தோன்ற ஓர் வார்த்தை சொல்ல வந்த மனுவே பராபரமே. So, one word is enough. The moment ahasputam tattvamasiiti vedaha tathapi asamprapya paratmanishtham bhuyo vicharaha mati durbalatvam tat sarvatha swatmadayahi bhati. You are always the self, nitya shuddha buddha mukta swarup. When the Guru tells you that you are that, after hearing that, to do again some sadhana is lack of faith. You have to abide there. That is Bhagavan's ultimate teaching. Many of Bhagavan's direct devotees, they did not do anything. Somebody asked Muruganaraswamy, Swami, what sadhana you did? This seeker seriously asked to know the technique by which he got it. So he asked, Swami, what sadhana you did? And you know Muruganar, what he said? Sadhanaya. Sadhana? Bhagavan, what do you mean by sadhana? Some meditation, something? He said, Bhagavan did not give me time even to close my eyes. Even before I could wink, the thing was over. So that is grace. அது நீ என்ற அம்மறைகள் ஆர்த்திடவும். The Vedas declared that you are that. அது நீ என்று அம்மறைகள் ஆர்த்திடவும். With delight they roar that you are Brahman, then you have to abide. Without doing that, so easy. See, nothing is more easy than this jnanam. That is why Bhagavan said, it's so simple. Ayye ati sulabham. Atma vittai ayye ati sulabham. Ati sulabham means so simple, too simple. The problem with this jnanam is that it is too simple. If it is complex, you will do. Because doing is our problem. We will do. We will go to the top of Everest, go to the depth of ocean, if possible travel to Mars, Moon, everything we will do. But to abide without doing anything is our problem. சொல் மானத தனுவின் கர்மாதி சிறிதின்றி சும்மா அமர்ந்திருக்க அம்மா அகத்தில் ஆத்ம ஜோதியே. Without any movement of the body or the mind or the word, mouth, abide in yourself, be quiet. Ahatil Atma Jyotiye. In you, always as your real nature, as your own existence, as I am, that Jyoti is shining forth. The moment you pay attention, you are that. The moment your attention loses sight of it, you are estranged. You move away from it. So abide there. Amudavayai tira. So Bhagavan says to the master, please come before me and at least once tell me that I am Brahman. If I hear it from your nectarine mouth, no more ignorance is possible. If you come to me and tell me I am that, I will abide there. I know that, but you have to come and tell me that you are that. Please declare it once. Amudavayai tira arul mati arunachala. O moon of grace, the moment I hear that, my mati, my intellect also will be filled with arul. Jnani's intellect is not filled with thoughts, it is filled with emanation of grace. Vaisharati sati vishuddha buddhi Dhunoti mayam gunasamprasutam. In Srimad Bhagavatam there is a beautiful verse which says, the moment a person recognizes the self, realizes the self, the intellect also becomes a tool of that divine being. It becomes emblazoned with grace. Vaisharadi sati vishuddha buddhi. Dhunoti maya. It becomes powerful enough to ward off the maya of the disciple. Gunasamprasutam. So, Arulmati Arunachala. Then the intellect becomes intelligence. It is no more merely intellect, it becomes intelligence. It becomes the source and becomes a perfect guide. Now, the next verse, Shirai Adithu Nirvanamai Sheidu Arul Shirai Aditharul Arunachala. Bhagavan says, Arunachala, Shirai Adithu, destroying the Shir means actually, it means a dress. So, disrobe me, remove my dress. Nirvanamai Shed, make me naked. Arul Shirai Alit, give the dress of your grace. Arul Arunachala, bless me Arunachala, like that. So, here Shirai Alit means destroying the pseudo greatness of my ego, the form of nations, the willpower on which we are depending upon. Free will. We have the question whether free will is right or destiny. The old question. The doubt which has been there from time immemorial. Whether egg came first or the hen. Whether the seed came first or the tree. Like that. Actually, free will is destiny. What you call as free will is nothing but destiny. If a person has free will to sing, that free will is his destiny. It shows his limitation. And real spiritual free will is the will to be free. That arises by the grace of the inner being. Tremendous will arises, which yokes you to satsanga, to master, to spiritual practice, to make you absolutely free, to demolish this castle of ignorance. That is real free will. So, here Shirai Adit, Shir means here Bhagavan, what Bhagavan says is Avarana. In Vedanta we calls it as Avarana. The covering veil of ignorance, which covers the glory, the Prakasha Avarana Kshaya. Patanjali in Yoga Sutra says, Prakasha Avarana Kshaya. The Prakasha is already there. The very nature of the Atman, the self is Prakasha, is effulgence. No one can cover it, cloud it. Sometimes we say clouds are covering the sun, but clouds can never cover the sun. To know clouds are there, you need sunlight. Even the clouds are recognized because of sunlight. They are only covering your eyes, they cannot cover the sun. So too, this ignorance is covering your intellect. It cannot cover the self. It is always shining forth. But due to ignorance, avidya, you are not able to know your real nature. And what is that avidya? It is nothing but Bhagavan says it is ego is avidya. Ahamenum moola aviddai ahandrida aham aham aha allum pahalara ahamolir atmadevan padathinil ahamahivaha anisham ramikyave. You can see many aham comes in this song. It's very crisp. Bhagavan has condensed so much in this small couplet. Aham enum moola aviddai ahandrida. Bhagavan says the primal ignorance, the foremost error is this I. When you wake up from deep sleep, the first sprout is this I. We have to wonder in seeing this phenomena. You know what is meditation? Meditation is nothing but wondering this happening. Wondering at yourself, how this ego appears, and when you go to deep sleep, how it disappears. Where does it go? And the mystery is, even though it goes, how do you recollect when you wake up, there was happiness? Who experienced that happiness? Who was the experiencer behind deep sleep? Who experienced it? Was it memory? When you wake up, you say, I was so happy. I want to go back to that state where I will cease to exist. But in that state, who experienced happiness? Only one answer is possible. The self experience itself. Without any individual sense, without any intellect, without any mind, it gives you that authenticity that without intellect, the self knows how to know. Without mind, it can experience joy. The mind, the intellect, the senses only limit that in unlimited being. They adulterate that experience. So in deep sleep, you have that sukham. But the first sprout is I. The moment that I arises, mysteriously you identify with that thought and forget the source. And that thought, Bhagavan says, is the first error, avarana, avidya. And how to remove it? Aham ahamenum allum pahalare. Day and night, stay with that I, says Bhagavan. Day and night, hold on to that I. It is the greatest mantra. Any mantra that you will chant is given by someone from outside, but this is the mantra which is constantly being chanted by the inner being. The inner one from the beginning, it is chanting this mantra, aham, 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 I. When I verbalize, it becomes I or aham or non. But it just cross this border, it becomes same. Right? This border of this mouth, you go inward, it is only a movement. Antasharati bhuteshu guhayam vishvamurtishu. The Veda says, in all the creatures, this moves in the inner realm, this movement. All the outer mantras will take you there and disappear. Then you will touch this inner rosary, this inner stream, where the inner one is constantly repeating a mantra, a pulsation, a Pashyanti Vak, which is not a Vaikhari Vak. Pashyanti Vak means you are able to see it, behold it inwardly, the movement of aham, 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 enum allum pahalara. If you hold on to that I, then you will see it just gives up all the vestures, all the clothes that it is wearing. They all wither away. The body. The mind, intellect, Shirai, Adithu, Nirvanamai Setu. Nirvana means blowing out. And what is blown out? This individual sense, also like a flame in that samadhi, gets blown out. Arul Shirai Adithu. Arul Shir is that Guru tells you that you are that, and that jnana, with that balam, with that viryam, sohamasmi, I am that recognition comes. Adu ni. That recognition comes, that aatral, we call in Tamil aatral, that viryam. There you recognize that what remains as existence is me. Somewhere that recognition happens, neither here nor there. Somewhere in between, in the Sandhya, in the twilight period, you recognize I am Brahman. And that recognition, like a Devata, remains in you. It is not done by the mind. So it will not go with the mind, and that recognition percolates through all the thoughts, your mind, your intellect, everything will be impregnated with that recognition, will be filtered by that recognition. Every feeling, every action, every movement will be filtered by that film of that recognition that I am the self. That pratyabhijna will be there. That is Arul Shir. Shir means power. Atmana vindate viryam. In Sanskrit we call it as viryam. Viryam. The ego's power is ignored and a higher power operates. That is why first we seek the teaching of the master. Holding on to it, slowly the inner being recognizes I am the self. That is why in Aksharamanamalai, many places Bhagavan is beseeching Arunachala, please give me that teaching. I will abide there. Shappadu sonna tattuvamagira or mozhiyin padi appalamittu paru. Sadguru gives that Maunopadesha. With that you put this spiritual sadhana and abide in the self. So, Shirai Adithu Nirvanamai Setu. Nirvana means that Brahmajnana. Niravarana is Nirvana. Actually, Nirvana is not simply becoming naked or blowing out. In Vedantic sense, Niravarana is Nirvana. Shankaracharya in one place gives the commentary like that. Nirvana means Niravarana. The avarana is removed. The covering is removed. Now it is all clear like daylight. More clear than the outer sun. Outer sun will disappear if you close the eyes. But this inner being, even if you close the eyes, it shines forth. Even in dream, it shines forth. Even in deep sleep, it shines forth. So, Shirai Ajithu, by removing the power of the ego or the covering which clouds my self-experience, remove it. Nirvanamai Shed, make me experience that state of nirvana. And that samadhi, when we wake up from that state, if that Guru's vachana is not there, you will not recognize. That's why once Ganeshana told me that Devaraja once asked Bhagavan, what is that experience? How will one know it? What is its nature? Bhagavan said, how can we say, how can we describe it? It is impossible to describe. Then Bhagavan said, it is your real nature. You are that. What is that? Your own existence is its Swarupa. Kanakama herself, she used to say, we used to wonder how this person is asking so many questions to Bhagavan. In that profound presence, very few people, devotees used to dare to ask. So he asked Bhagavan, still you have to say something about that state. Then Bhagavan said, எப்படி சொல்றது boy? You can neither express it nor can you deny its experience. Only when you get it, you will know. And one day, this devotee was sitting near Bhagavan's couch. And as usual, Bhagavan was radiating that profound silence. On that day, suddenly his mind became quiet. His intellect became quiet. There was a profound state of beingness. At that time, Bhagavan was looking at another side. Bhagavan, with his leg problem, back problem, he could not suddenly turn, but he using all his power, he turned towards Devaraja Mudalayar and looked at him. Then this person who was asking so many questions, he asked, Bhagavane, idudana adu? He asked Bhagavan, is this that? Bhagavan smiled, just shook his head. Adutha vai idu. That alone is this. So that is Arul Shir. Even if you have the taste of it, you have to hear it from the master. Confirmation has to come from the Acharya. When he tells you that what you have found is your real nature, abide there, move not. Another story is when another devotee, she had that experience, a very old granny. She was working in kitchen, a child widow. At that time, that very orthodox, she had already learnt all Tamil Vedantic books by the time she came to Bhagavan. When she saw Bhagavan and stayed here, Slowly she found the experiential wisdom also. But she wanted to hear from Bhagavan. So one day when Bhagavan came to dining hall, after breakfast he was standing there, nobody was near him. This Amma went near Bhagavan, did a namaskar and sang a song in Tamil. Kaivalya Navanitam is a Vedantic work where the disciple, after getting that experience, goes to the master and tells him, "O Lord, you have been following me for innumerable births, and you were whispering this teaching from within, but I failed to listen. Now for redeeming me, you came out in this beautiful form to give me liberation. You have given me that great blessing of jnanam, liberation. What can I do in return? How can I return? How can I pay my gratitude to you?" This is the song. Ayyane, Ananda Janmangal Yanadule Yanayanda Mayane, Upadeshikya Velivanda Guruve Potri, Uyave Muktinalhum Udaviki or Udavi Nayen Shayumarundrum Kane Tiruvadi Potri Potri. I can only do namaskar to you, I cannot do anything else. For the great boon that you have showered on me, I can only do namaskara to you, I cannot do anything else. When she sang this song, Bhagavan heard with a smile and then said, the answer for this song is there in that very work in the next verse. This is Bhagavan's answer. Bhagavan said, adukku badil adutha paatile irukke. Said, the answer for this song is there in the next verse. The next verse is, the Guru, hearing the state of that disciple, with open hands calls him, with so much joy, Shishyan Ivaru Kura, Deshikan Magirundu Noki, with delight, the Guru looked at the disciple, Kittavayanave Araiti, he said, come near, and said, Dushtamam Tadegal Mundrum Todarada Vannam. You have got it, but be careful. 3 hurdles can come. You can doubt your experience. You can fall back to ignorance. You can also misapprehend the experience, wrongly understand the experience. These 3 doshas can come. Without falling through these 3 doshas, Swarupajnana Nishtana Irupayagil. If you can abide as Swarupajnana Nishtha, if you can abide in yourself unswearingly in that jnana sthiti, you can abide in that self-experience without any slip. That is the greatest dakshina, Guru Dakshina. That is the greatest upakara that you can give me back. The greatest upakara that the disciple can do to the master is by following the teaching, abiding in that state, by becoming a sweet fruit of that Atmajnana, that self-experience. So, Swarupajnana Nishtana Irupayagil Nishayyam Udaviyami. That is the only help that I am seeking from you. The Guru is seeking from the disciple. That is what Bhagavan in another form tells Arunachala. You brought me here. If you fail to make me complete, your name will get spoiled. So Guru is always afraid about disciple. Kind of blackmail. Bhagavan said, if you fail to make me Purna, if I am not abiding in that experience completely, your name will get spoiled. So be careful. ஸ்வரூபஜான நிஷ்டனாய் இருப்பாயாகில் நீ செய்யும் உதவியாமே. ஷீரை அழித்து நிர்வாணமாய் செய்து, ஷீரை அழித்து நிர்வாணம், பிரம்ம நிர்வாண. So this word is not brought by Buddhism. It is there in Bhagavad Gita, in the Upanishads, everywhere it is there, that nirvana. Brahma nirvana mricchati. Gita, many places you find in Bhagavad Gita. That nirvana, that niravarana, that ajnana is removed, ignorance is removed, and you know that you are the self. Your own existence as I am has no limitation of the body or the mind or the intellect or the personality. You are bodiless, mindless, egoless, worldless. You are that pure, eternal, ever pure Purnavastu, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa. That teaching is Amritanubhava. Once you absorb it, assimilate it into your being, that when it becomes your own anubhuti, that gives you that sheer. Sheer means power. That power of jnana. Shankaracharya, in one of his commentaries, he says, Viryam. Viryam means what? Power means what? Sheer. Here Bhagavan uses the word sheer. Sheer means Vishayaihi anabhibhavatvam. He says, even though you have heard this teaching, you have understood it intellectually, when a situation comes in life, you just get shaken by that. This jnana will not help you because it is not absorbed, it is not assimilated in your system. It has not become your nature. It is standing away from you. So that is lack of power. So the power of jnanam is when it becomes yours. It is no more the jnanam of the book. It is yours. And even like the moment you go near a serpent, a cobra, just lifts its hood like that. Like that, the jnanam becomes so much in you that when the situation arises, you are so alert like a cobra. That is the example that they give. You are so alert that nothing can make you shake, make you slip from that state. Not simply incidents, any affectations to the body or the mind should not shake. Dehendriya prana manodhiyamyo janmapyayakshut bhaya tarsha krichraihi samsara dharmaihi avimuhyamanaha smritya harehe bhagavata pradhanaha. This is the definition of Bhagavatam. Deha, Indriya, Prana, Manodhyam. Intellect, senses, prana, mind. All these adjuncts create some disturbance in that jnana sthiti. Janma, birth, death, hunger. If the lecture goes beyond 11 o'clock, hunger, thirst, bhaya, fear, tarsha, desire, craving. This tarsha which Buddha calls as trishna, that craving. Krichrai, some kind of afflictions. Samsara dharmaihi, all these are the dharma of samsara. Because you cannot change it. You will not be able to change the nature of the world. It has the same quality even after your jnanam. But you are not affected by it. How? By the power of the jnanam. Smrityaharehe, by that smriti of the Lord, by the smriti of the self, Atma, that Ishvara, you are merged there, you are not affected by these things. We could see it in Bhagavan. Devaraj, Dwarakanath Reddy, Balram Reddy once said, KVS used to constantly quote that, used to say, Bhagavan always used to say that there is no body for a jnani. That seemed to be very utopian idea. But when that cancer came, his body was eaten by that disease. In that state, that was the greatest teaching period. See, even the Upanishads say that when the jnani is affected by terrible disease, that is the period when the bliss is boundless. Yad vyahitas tade tapati tadevasya paramam tapaha. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Yad vyahitaha tapati. The jnani, when he suffers physical afflictions, it is like you can cut a chocolate many pieces, each and every bit will taste sweet. Like that, when the jnani is affected physically so much, the tapas becomes so powerful. Like the fire, when it is going to end, when the fuel is going to be finished, it will have big flames. Like that, in that state, yadvyahitas tapati tadevasya paramam tapaha. It is the greatest tapas. So much of tapas comes in the jnani in that period. So Balram Reddy said, we could understand that Bhagavan is bodiless only in that state. Even when the disease affected him so much, that jnana sthiti has no change. When devotees came to him, he said, who is suffering? One of our presidents, Bhagavan's sister, of course, Bhagavan's sister, she went to Bhagavan and said, Bhagavan, by your grace, many devotees got their disease cured. Why don't you put your hand in your left hand and cure this disease? Bhagavan said, do you think I have a mind to do that? First I have to think I have a body, then I have to think I have a disease in my hand, then I have to put one hand in the other hand and should do the sankalpa that it should get cured. To do so much, where is mind for me? So here mind means ignorance. Mind is not simply thought waves. It means ignorance. Ignorance is no more there. That conviction that I am the self, born of that samadhi, born of that nirvikalpa prajna, is so clear that in all the states it remains without any covering to that glow, cloudless, adhumaiva pavakaha. The Upanishad says smokeless fire. It's a beautiful symbol. Somebody can write a book on that caption. Smokeless fire. Now people are searching for some name for some book. It's a smokeless fire. And the fire, that flame goes up, not covered by any smoke, like that. That jnana is so clear, so unclouded, so pure. And in all situations, the jnani is depending only in the power of the jnana, not on the power of the body or power of the world. You can put it in other ways, in other form. He is only depending on the Lord, Ishvara. is not depending on anything else, not depending on the power of his devotees or disciples or money. If we put our faith in anything, it will deceive us. The Upanishad says, if you hold on to anything, you will come to sorrow. One day it will leave you. Brahmatam paradadyo atmano anyatra brahmaveda kshatram tam paradadyo atmano anyatra kshatram veda. Whatever you hold on to, it will leave you. Even health. It is good, nice to be healthy, but you cannot depend on health. One person known to me is been running, jogging every day because he had diabetes. So he said, somebody told me this is good exercise, so every day I am running. After 10 years I asked, has your sugar come down? He said, no, it is in the same position. Then why are you running? That is my prarabdha. I said, to run is my destiny, that is also continuing, this is also continuing. So health also, when you are healthy, it is beautiful, it is nice to be healthy, but even that you cannot depend upon, hold on. The body you cannot depend. Even mind you cannot depend. Intellect you cannot depend. Great intellectuals in the world, they have forgotten their own names. In their old age, everything disappears. How will you depend on this knowledge? This also you cannot hold on to. The power of knowledge also will leave. So something more deeper, something which is stable, which will never leave you. And the revelation of that thing you get every day only in one state. Again I come back to deep sleep. The state where you are nirvana. Nirvanamai. Bhagavan said nirvana. What is nirvana? Every day in deep sleep you have nirvana. Everything is taken away. Whatever is going to leave you in death leaves you in deep sleep. The body leaves you, the mind leaves you, the personal self leaves you, the intellect leaves you, everything leaves you, and something is there which will never leave you. If you recognize it in the waking state, and if you remain as that in the waking state, that is the greatest sheer, Arul sheer. Arul sheer also, sheer means in our Tamil system, in marriage, when a girl bride is brought, they will bring all kind of items, sweet, gold, everything. They will, it is called a sheer. Sheer Varisham woman. That also is meant. Sheer means greatest treasure, greatest gift. And the greatest gift that Arunachala can give you is Arul Sheer. The gift of grace by which you will become whole, complete. It will remove all your deformities. That is why in another song Bhagavan says, Nagai Kidamilainin Arul Nagai Ittupar. There Bhagavan says, I will have many deformities in me. Physically no one can become perfect. Mentally there will be many problems in me. I am an ordinary human being. But if you put the ornament of grace on my neck, I will look perfect. That is the thing. The perfection, spiritual perfection is not something which comes by worldly adjustment. With all imperfections, when that element enters, when that fourth element enters, the three dimension looks good. When the Turiya Vastu comes in, all the three states will look good. You will have many problems. That is why we see spiritually evolved beings, even though they suffer financially, they will be happy. Even though they suffer health-wise, they will be happy. And there are people who are healthy, who are financially in good position, who are respected by the world, not at all happy. Always having a very long face. The moment you look at them, you will get initiated into tragedy. They have that power. One look is enough. So much power is there. They have everything. And if you ask, what is your problem? The answer also is very mysterious, because they say, we don't know something. See, problem like us is such problems comes to us. Problem that we face is such problems sometimes come to us. And how can we answer? When such people come, they can put all their problems for exhibition. And the answer is, I will put all my problems to them. So you cannot solve the problem and be finished with it. The only way is bring in that divine element. When bhakti comes, when the experience of God comes, when you know that Ishvara is there, that Purnatvam is there, once that ray of grace touches you, with all imperfections, you will look good. With all imperfections and deformities, you will feel happy. I am only this much. Doesn't matter. You have to seek that element. In Bhagavatam, you see one small child, Dhruva. His father was a king, but he was denied even the right to sit on his father's lap by his stepmother. So this child got affected. And this child went to his mother crying. His mother said, what to do? Your father is very partial with that lady. I cannot do anything. The only way for you is to worship the Lord. Seek His grace. Mother gave that teaching to that child. Do you know what this child did? This mother perhaps thought this child will go to puja room, meditation room and sit. But this child directly went to forest to do penance, tapas. And suddenly Lord became anxious because a small child, without knowing how to do tapas, is going to forest. And now it is my duty to help him. So he sent another sage, Narada. He came on the way, on the path. That sage with Vena, with a musical instrument, Vena in his hand, he came and said, child, where are you going? This child did a prostration, namaskar, and said, Master, I am going to do tapas. He's only 5 years old. And that sage asked, my dear boy, do you know what tapas is? I do not know. Then he asked, do you know what qualifications you should have to do tapas? I do not know. Do you know what mantra to chant? I do not know. Do you know where to sit for tapas? I do not know. Do you know what asana you should sit? That also I do not know. Then how are you going? That is your problem. You have come before me. I have not called you. Lord has sent you in front of me. Now this is your problem. It is not my problem. That is what Bhagavan said. Varuddidum talai vidhi arunachana. It is your destiny. Now teach me what I should do, how I should meditate, how I should contemplate, what mantra I should chant. Give me that, I will do it. Then the sage embraced that boy, put his hand on his head, and whispered the mantra into his being, and made him go to the bank of river Yamuna and meditate. So see, this is the secret of spiritual life. You need only that yearning, everything else will be supplied. Once the fire of that hunger, spiritual thirst is invoked, that has power to invite all the divine elements in the world. As I said yesterday, your body is the world. Once that fire of spiritual yearning arises in the heart, it will shake each and every element in the universe. Everything will come in front of you to help you. The book will come. The teacher will come. Something will come. When I was studying in my school days, I wanted to read one spiritual book. It was very rare to find. So I was searching, I went to many ashrams, inquired about that book. I could not get it. One day, after 2 or 3 days, the postman brought that book to me. I was wondering who sent that rare book. There was a letter from another devotee. He said, I felt that I should send you this book. That is the answer. See, what is this power? So such things will constantly happen in spiritual life. That is Arul Shir. This is the power of Arul, power of grace, which will be activated. Anugraha Shakti. Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirodhana and Anugraha. This Anugraha is the fifth force. Creation, sustenance, destruction, disappearance and grace. Grace is the fifth power which is ever active. Once you tune to that stream, that will be activated in your life. That will get activated and things will start happening. Master will come, satsang will come, books will come, teaching will come, insights will come, mantra will come, right attitude will come, right place to stay will come, everything will come, everything will be supplied. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. So that Bhagavan says, Shirai Ajit, removing my spiritual ignorance, Nirvanamai Shet, make me recognize that Nirvana state, the state where the body, the intellect, the ego is not there, but the self is the revelation of the ever revealed. That truth is completely uncovered. That nirvana state, show me that state, reveal me that state, lift the veil from my intellect. Let me behold that effulgence, and then Arul Shirai Alit, like a mother, make me absorb that experience, make me assimilate that experience into my system. And in my life, every moment, let me hold to that jnana and live. Generally, after getting that jnana, a sadhaka can slip back to the worldly life depending on ajnana. So Bhagavan says, make me hold on to that jnana and live. Let me not hold on to ignorance and live. Let me hold to your grace, your power, your Yogakshema Shakti, and live peacefully in this world, unconcerned about anything. Arul Shirai Alit. You are my mother, you are my father. Bhagavan says in one of his Navamanimalai, in the last song, Bhagavan says, even before I got this realization, right from my childhood, I was aware of Arunachala's power operating in my life, like the compassion of a mother, wisdom of the father, அம்மையும் அப்பனும் ஆயனை பூமியில் ஆக்கி அழித்து அம்மகிமாயையின் ஆழ்கடல் வீழ்ந்து ஆழ்ந்திடும் முன், before I could fall into the ocean of ignorance, என் மனம் மன்னி இழுத்து, you entered my life and pulled my mind towards you. உன் பதத்தில் இருத்தினையால், you made my mind abide in your padam, in your state. Chinmayanam Arunachala. Arunachala, your very nature is chit, awareness. Arul Chitramenne, how can I express the power of your grace, the sport of your grace? You made me abide in that state, Arunachala. How can I express that might of your grace? So Bhagavan has given us what is Arul Shiru. Arul Shiru means that power operates in your life as Ishvara. This Ishvara principle a jnani will come to know after realizing the self. When he leads the life, he will come to know that he is an eternal child playing in the presence of a mother and father. He is Amma, Appa. That power, like a mother, fondles you, takes care of you, like father, disciplines you, puts you in order and completes your spiritual life. தாயினுள் அன்பு வைத்தார், தந்தையுள் அறிவு வைத்தார். Muruganar Swami gave a description to it. தாயினுள் அன்பு வைத்தார், தந்தையுள் அறிவு வைத்தார். As knowledge is the element of father and compassion, love is the element of mother, both becomes activated and this jnani feels so much complete, perfect, whole, like a child, growing in the presence of his affectionate, loving parents. Whole world becomes his home. Shankaracharya says, whole world is our home and Mother Parvati is our mother and Shiva is our father. All are our relatives, brothers and sisters. Everyone is same. Mata cha Parvati Devi Pita Devo Maheshwaraha Bandhava Shiva Bhaktascha Swadesho Bhuvanatrayam. Wherever you go, you find your home there. Because Ishvara is your father, he is your mother. All creatures are your relatives only. They all belong to you. So that kind of completion is Arul Shir. That is the gift. After, when usually parents will say to their son, if you come first in your class, we will give you a surprise gift. Like that, Arunachaleshwara is giving a surprise gift to the devotee. What is his gift? His gift is his grace, his protection, his love, that joy, that complete regard. Bhagavan all his life had that regard to that power. He was always aware of that power which was moving around him. That is why in the former days of ashram, when this ashram setup was not there, one day there was no grains, no food in the ashram. There was one tumbler of grain or something was there. And Annamalai Swami has written about this incident. There were about 30-40 devotees. How can we cook? Bhagavan said, bring that. He asked them to bring that one tumbler of that atta or something, or rava. He started cooking with it. Put it in the vessel. The water started boiling. Started cooking. And within few minutes, a big bullock cart came. And bags of the same grain descended there. Who brought it? Arunachaleshwara's duty. That is why one day when Bhagavan saw some grains have spilt there, he was gathering one by one those rice from the near the store. So one devotee asked Bhagavan, why are you doing this? With so much pain you are picking one by one the grains. Bhagavan said, I am answerable to Arunachala. For each grain, I am answerable to him. Annamalai badal kodukonu. For each rice grain, I am answerable to him, accountable to him. So that was his attitude. Ishvara's attitude is, he is ready to do anything for his son. So that is Arul Shir. Bhagavan says, give me that covering of that Arul, that grace. It is not actually a prayer, it is a statement actually. The moment you know the truth, that will be there. That power will be activated. You will come to know that power around you. Arul Shirai Alithu Arul Arunachala. We will continue tomorrow the same time. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato humatma bhavasi tvameva tato na vachyam mama kinchit asti yathataveshtam kurumam tathaiva tvam atmanatham ramanam